History is written by the victors, but victory is rarely decided on the open battlefield alone, before the cannons fire, before the cavalry charges, and before the treaties are signed. A different kind of war has already been fought. It is the war of shadows, the war of the spy. For millennia, the outcome of empires has rested not on the strength of armies, but on the whispers of a few. From the bamboo scrolls of ancient China to the fiber-optic cables of the Cold War, espionage is the hidden gear that turns the wheel of history. Today, we unmask the architects of deception. We will analyze the methods of the Shinobi, the ciphers of Queen Elizabeth's spymaster, the invisible ink of the American Revolution, and the double agents who tricked the Nazis. These are the master spies who didn't just watch history happen, they grabbed it by the throat and changed it forever. To understand the master spy, we must go back 2,500 years, to the Warring States period of China. Here the legendary strategist Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War, but his most dangerous chapter wasn't about swords, it was about information. Sun Tzu identified 5 types of spies. The doomed spy, meant to feed false information to the enemy and be executed, and the surviving spy, the elite operative who brings back the secrets. He famously said, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." Across the sea in Japan, this philosophy evolved into the ninjutsu. Forget the Hollywood assassin in black pajamas. The historical shinobi were master intelligence gatherers. They were masters of henso jutsu, the art of disguise. During the Sengoku period, warlords didn't just guess where the enemy was. They sent shinobi disguised as wandering monks or flute players to map castles and count rations. They weaponized psychology, spreading rumors to lower enemy morale before a siege even began. In the East, they proved that a single piece of paper was deadlier than 1,000 arrows. Fast forward to 16th century Europe. England is isolated, surrounded by Catholic enemies, and Queen Elizabeth I is the target of constant assassination plots. She needs a shield. She finds a weapon. Sir Francis Walsingham. Walsingham is arguably history's first modern spy master. He didn't just hire agents, he built a surveillance state. He intercepted letters, established a school for code breaking, and recruited merchants, students, and poets across Europe to serve as his eyes. His masterpiece was the disruption of the Babington Plot in 1586. Mary, Queen of Scots, was conspiring to kill Elizabeth. Walsingham didn't arrest the conspirators immediately. He waited. He used a double agent to intercept their encrypted letters, deciphered them using frequency analysis, and let the plot mature until he had undeniable proof. Because of his intelligence network, England knew the size, strength, and timing of the Spanish Armada before it even set sail. Walsingham proved that intelligence is not just about observing the enemy, it's about manipulating them into destroying themselves. By the 1770s, warfare had crossed the Atlantic. George Washington, the commander of the Continental Army, was losing. He realized he couldn't outgun the British Empire, so he had to outsmart them. Washington created the Culper Ring, a network of civilians in British-occupied New York. These weren't trained soldiers, they were farmers and tailors. Their methods were ingeniously simple yet effective. They used sympathetic stain, an early form of invisible ink that required a specific chemical reagent to reveal. They developed a numerical code where 711 meant George Washington and 727 meant New York. One agent, Anna Strong, reportedly used her laundry line to signal signals. A black petticoat meant a message was ready. The number of handkerchiefs indicated which cove the boat was waiting in. The Culper Ring exposed British plans to crash the American economy with counterfeit money and save the French alliance. They proved that in the right hands, information is the ultimate equalizer for the underdog. But as the world plunged into the industrial slaughter of the 20th century, espionage became a global game of high stakes. Enter Richard Sorge, the man Ian Fleming, the creator of James Bond, called the most formidable spy in history. Sorge was a Soviet military intelligence officer, posing as a loyal Nazi journalist in Tokyo. He was a womanizer, a heavy drinker, and the life of the party, the perfect cover. He became best friends with the German ambassador to Japan, literally reading secret documents on the ambassador's desk. Sorge sent radio transmissions back to Moscow detailing the exact date of the Nazi invasion of Russia. Stalin, paranoid, ignored the first warning, but Sorge's greatest contribution came later. In late 1941, German troops were at the gates of Moscow. The Soviets were desperate. Sorge informed Stalin that Japan would not attack Russia from the east. They were focusing on the USA and the Pacific. This intel allowed Stalin to move his Siberian divisions to the Western Front, stopping the Nazis and changing the course of World War II. One spy, one message, millions of lives saved. After the Hot War came the Cold War, a war of ideologies. This era gave us the Cambridge Five, British elites who were secretly Soviet moles, proving that the most dangerous spies are often those you trust the most. But the human element was soon joined by a new player: technology. The U-2 spy plane, satellite imagery, and wiretaps industrialized espionage. Yet the principle remained the same. Whether it was the CIA digging a tunnel under Berlin to tap Soviet phone lines, or the Mossad using false identities to hunt down enemies, the goal was always information dominance. Today the battlefield has shifted again. We have moved from invisible ink to invisible code. Cyber espionage allows nations to cripple power grids and steal secrets without a single agent crossing a border. But despite the AI and the satellites, the core truth remains. Warfare is deception. The master spies of history taught us that while armies can take cities, it is intelligence that wins wars. As long as there is conflict, there will be shadows. And in those shadows, someone is always watching.